What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Guys, a lot is going on in our country. Okay, we started with our domestic issues, okay, with current administration trying to slash federal agencies and federal worker jobs. And now we're going into foreign issues with our current administration trying to solve the war in Ukraine. There's a lot going on. There is a lot, okay? However, let's stay focused on our problem at hand, because while there is always going to be massive amount of problems going on, those who stay focused achieve what they put their mind towards. Okay, so let us focus on our current situation and our contract. Okay, one thing I wanted to mention was I posted a video about Brian Renfro giving us the terms of what the Postal Service offered us when our contract first expired. Okay, and the way that Brian Renfro explained it was, it's not a black and white offer. Okay, he says it's a whole bunch of numbers on a spreadsheet, and based off of what the Postal Service wants to give him, he has to do the work to dish that up accordingly to his membership. All right, guys, now that sounds like an extremely frustrating task to be burdened with. Okay, I'm not advocating for Brian Renfro. I am not agreeing with what he did or what he did not do. But what I'm saying is, if we think about it in the terms that he laid it down, if you have $2,000 in your bank account right now, but you have $8,000 worth of bills, you and I both know it's not enough. But what do? Do you spread that $2,000 amongst all of your creditors? Do you pay your creditor that you owe the most money, the $2,000? Do you pay your lowest balance first? Okay, and I think that's the situation that we're in. Okay, the problem is the way that our membership tier is. If you're in table 1 versus if you're in table 2, the monies don't align. So therefore, it's more expensive for Renfro to distribute those funds to table 1 than it is to table 2. However, the time periods for table 2 to get an adequate raise is outrageous. Okay, so that, I think that's the biggest dilemma. All right, the amount of money that the Postal Service offered and how Renfro has to cut the pies into equal pieces. All right, now the logical answer is to ask for more. Right, the logical answer is my carriers do the same amount of work. It doesn't matter if they have 30 years or if they have 2 months, they do the same exact job. The Postal Service wants to hold them to the same exact standards, okay? And they want us to all get the same amount of work done, okay? So now you're faced with the dilemma, so you try to figure out a solution, okay? The easiest solution is we want more money, okay? Give us more money and we will dish that out in a more equal way, right? I don't think that is the answer or a possible resolution, because there's going to come a point where the letter carrier is going to be tasked to do more than what he does today. All right, I think that in order to get more money, they have to increase the revenue at the Postal Service. And then how do they do that? Okay, it's going to have to be to offer more services to the public. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, if we do have a substantial raise increase, our workload or the burden that we hold is going to increase just a bit more. Okay, guys, so how can the Postal Service increase revenue? Well, it's by offering more products. Okay, faster delivery will be number one. However, with the joy we see, they want to slow down delivery. But what else can we do? There was suggestions by Congress, I think AOC, years ago, about having a postal banking situation go on, but I'm almost 100% sure that will never happen, because the way Wall Street and the banks are set up, they don't want the public to have such access to those who don't have access to banks now, that are in bank deserts and can't get credit. I don't think that the big banks want those people to have a free way to bank. I think they want to charge them absurd amount of interest and dangle the carrot in front of those people. And I think that this administration, with abolishing certain federal agencies, Consumer Protection Bureau, and now they want to get rid of some of these agencies that protect us from what's that word I'm looking for? Basically charging criminal interest rates, right? So, you know, we're in a sticky position, okay? So if we could come up with ways to increase the Postal Service revenue, then yeah, we can definitely think of ways for us to get more of that money. But the big issue is, I think, you know, the letter carriers are only one craft. Now, I don't want to sound pro Renfro or pro, and I do believe that we deserve a decent wage. Don't get me wrong. What I'm trying to do here is be realistic. Whatever the letter carriers get, okay, let's say they give us $10 billion. Okay, now we're not the only ones in contract negotiations right now. We have the APWU, then we're going to have the national mail handlers, the national rural carriers, and then the mail handlers are going to be in contracts talks this year as well. So all of our sister unions are in talks right now for higher wages and better working conditions. So, okay, together as one unit, I don't think that will succeed either. I don't think it's time to join the unions. I think we need to be separate but equal, okay? Because what happens is when you join the unions, the contract language gets mixed up, okay? And then there may be something about crossing crafts, okay? So here we go about more responsibilities for the letter carrier, right? So let our unions stay separate, right? But let us also remember that whatever one union gets, it's going to be the baseline for the next union. So yes, should the letter carriers get 25%? Absolutely. But now the clerks are going to want 25%. The mail handlers are going to want 25%. You can't forget about the guys at the VMF, right? So I think that's why the Postal Service keeps these increases as low as they can at 1.3%, because they know that between all 600,000 employees, 1% is a whole heck of a lot of money. All right. So where are we today? Okay. We are in a position where we need these young folks to step up, okay? Because honestly, to change our union is to change the people that's in it, okay? I hear a lot of things on Reddit that these national business agents, I don't care who they are in cahoots with the national president, and they're out of line. They're out of touch with the people that deliver mail on the street, okay? And they have these overinflated salaries, and they don't deserve them, okay, guys? With all due respect, I do want to be a national business agent one day, but I do promise that I will be transparent and I will fight to protect our contract, okay? Any contract violation by your district manager, your area manager, I will want you guys to call me as your national business agent so I could get some people down there and figure out what's going on, okay? I think the locals need stronger representation. I think the shop stewards need to be refreshened out, okay? Guys close to retirement, pass on that knowledge to a young buck, okay? And let the young buck with his idea and his way of fighting begin to change the way that this union has become a union that negotiates rather than a union that fights, okay, guys? I just want to put it out there. I did run for alternate steward in my installation. I'm not going to go and jump to steward without having the knowledge and education of the contract, because I would be a disservice to all my members or my brothers and sisters, right? So I'm going to take the slow approach. I'm going to learn what I can learn from the people ahead of me, and I'm going to offer my spin on how I will defend the contract, right? But ultimately, I do agree that a lot of these positions are overinflated, okay? What we need to do is offer some resolutions to our Constitution in 2026, and some of those may be caps on salaries or salaries more in line with what the top letter carrier makes. I know in my branch, our local president is capped at what the top carrier makes, and I think that's fair. Maybe it's a 5% more. You know, maybe they deserve what a supervisor makes. But however, guys, a lot of these changes on our side is what we need to worry about. Okay, on the Postal Service side, trust me, they are going to be worked out on their end. But the most important thing here is to understand how the process works for negotiating with the service, and how we can make our argument stronger in front of the American public and the arbitrator to show just exactly what we do, how we do it, and how efficiently we can do it. All right, guys, the burden of proving why we deserve more has to be on us, because the Postal Service is going to show that we are deficient in that area. All right, guys, so until next time, I will be here. You'll be there. Peace.